Hey gang, Cram and I are going to review this week's episode of The Flash on the CW, Escape from Earth 2.
But we just got there.
I know, but we're just going to leave.
Well,
Far less cameos and Easter eggs this time, so let's talk plot. As you know, Barry was kidnapped by Zoom, and we've got Wells and Cisco trying to figure out what to do about it. They enlist in the help of Barry 2, who is much better acting this time from Gus, I think. He was a lot more engaged, he was timid and weak. There wasn't that, what, of the last episode. It was a lot more fun this time, I think.
while that's going on and they're tracking down Killer Frost, back on Earth 1, we have Geomancer causing more problems. Caitlin's still working on a variety of velocity and works her way all the way up to velocity 9, which Jay then takes in an instant because he has no choice as a building is coming down.
So he runs out there and he grabs all the survivors and leaves them off to the side while the building comes down. In the meantime, we've got, over in Earth 2, we've got Wells and Barry and Iris and now Cisco, who has Reverb's glasses, trying to hunt down Zoom, and they're going to use Killer Frost to do it because Cisco has the idea that if she loves Ronnie as much as Caitlin 1 loved Ronnie, that she would be willing to help them.
Barry uses his CSI abilities to track down Caitlin's location. They go and confront Killer Frost. A battle ensues. They eventually subdue her and then appeal to her love for Ronnie and saying if she loves Ronnie as much as the Earth 1 Caitlin loved Ronnie, then she would want to go ahead and avenge him. She then decides to help them out and takes them to Zoom's lair, which of course is a place where only a speedster can get to.
But of course, Killer Frost creates a very cool ice staircase, I guess you could call it, to get up to this hole in a large cave to let them in so they can get into his lair, where they confront Barry, along with the Man in the Mask, and Jesse Quick.
Now, while all that was going on, we do have a little bit of a reveal that happens with the Man in the Mask as well, who happens to be tapping out a code. Barry and Jesse work together to figure out that he's actually tapping out the letters J, A, Y.
Does that mean the Man in the Mask is J?
With the way that he reacted when they said that and how he got excited, I would imagine so, and especially because he got upset when they said J is okay. Clearly he was not happy about that.
So let's keep score. We've got potential J, the Man in the Mask. We've got J on Earth 1. And we've got Hunter Zolomon that Jay has pointed out to be Zoom. But then we've got Zoom on Earth 2. So we've got 4 guys who could potentially be Jay. Interesting. Meanwhile, on Earth 1, Geomancer decides to just wander on into Star Labs with no problem whatsoever. He just walks right on into their main room and attacks the crew, who starts calling out for Jay, but apparently he's gone to take a big nap and he's nowhere to be found. Meanwhile, the girls are on the run. They enter one of the rooms where they have all the weapons and paraphernalia, and Caitlin winds up subduing him with a shock collar gun of some sort. The problem with Geomancer's attack at Star Labs is it's damaged the speed cannon, which is what's keeping the Nexus open so that the guys can come back home to Earth 1. So Jay, who finally shows up, and the girls head down with Joe to try to figure out how to get the speed cannon up and running again.
Altogether, they end up working to get everything realigned and make sure that the portal is going to be held stabilized. Jay runs around super fast while Joe moves everything back into position, and we're all good.
Meanwhile, back on Earth 2, we're heading toward the climax as the team find the Man in the Mask, Barry and Jesse Quick. And Barry gets a pep talk from himself. Essentially, Barry 2 is telling Barry 1 that he's a hero and he can get his speed up fast enough so he can phase through the cell, which he has not been able to do so as of yet. The pep talk works. He phases through the cell, and before you know it, Zoom shows up and causes all kinds of hell for everyone.
Caitlin has a little bit of back and forth that they express internally on her face as she's deciding whether or not to help Zoom and turn against the team, or help the team and turn against Zoom. She decides to help the team out and freezes Zoom in place, giving the team enough time to be able to get away.
So of course they head towards the portal, which, was just recently opened once again by Joe and Jay and Caitlin, and they come flying through the portal. So Jay takes the little footballs they've made to close out the portals, chucks it in, and the portal begins to close in the slowest way possible. None of them have closed this slow. It really takes its sweet old time as Jay turns heroically and stands in front of it. posing as though waiting for something horrible to happen, which of course happens as Zoom breaks through, gets the old hand in the chest, pulls him through, and then the portal closes. What I really liked about this episode was Barry 2. I thought he was meek and scared and totally unlike Barry 1. And it was cool to see him kind of sort of find his way to get up the courage to go with Iris to help and give the pep talk to Barry that ultimately gets him through that cells. Fun acting for him. I'm glad to see a little more difference, a little stiff in the first one with a little more, what, huh? A much better job this time.
Yeah, I was really a fan of the way that they used Cisco in this particular episode, the way that he talked to Killer Frost and appealed to her love of Ronnie and said, hey, look, if you love your Ronnie as much as the Caitlin I know loves my Ronnie, then you're going to want to avenge him. I thought it was a really good use of that relationship in a different way, and it shows the connection and the tie between those characters and the relationships that are there, even potentially spanning, the multiverse.
Now, Star Labs. Will you please, for the love of God and all that is holy, get a security system on your building? Geomancer just
Walks on in.
Hey guys, just don't mind me. I just wandered on in off the street. Didn't even know this was your base of operations in the first place, but here I am. Boom. Super villain attack, guys. Seriously, super weak writing. And from what I'm hearing, the Twitterverse just exploded with rage. Yeah. You cannot just Deus Ex Machine the hell out of something like this. It makes no sense for him to find them. No sense for him to wander on in.
No sense for them to have no warning.
No. Nope, no warnings at all. No burglar alarm, nothing. Very weak writing, guys. You got to do better than this, and I know you can because the writing on the show is usually so crisp, but holy crap, that was terrible.
And for gosh sakes, we've seen how many other times with how many other villains that have shown up at Star Labs, where do they see them? On the camera.
Right.
Whether it's the guy with the electricity, or the general, or
even Reverse Flash. Seriously.
Exactly.
The guy is as fast, if not a little faster than Flash, and he was setting off alarms. It's just bad writing. Other than that, it was a really good show. The two-parter was exciting stuff. I'll be very interested in seeing which of the 4 J's is Zoom, because now only Hunter Zolomon's the only one on Earth 1. So we'll see where they take it from there. That's going to do our review of Escape from Earth 2. Let us know what you guys thought. Was it as annoying to you guys as it was to us that Geomancer could just walk on into Star Labs like that? Because that was pretty terrible.
And the writers have still left us hanging and trying to find out who Zoom really is. So, who do you guys think it is?